Hi love bunnies, welcome and welcome back to the beauty house. In today's video we are going to be doing this makeup look, which was very simple and easy, and I want to say it was roughly between 10 to 15 minutes. It is a very quick and simple look. We're not utilizing too much products because sometimes you don't have to do a whole bunch to still look polished and put together. So if you're interested in seeing how this look came together, continue to keep watching. So we are going to start off with the face first because the brows and everything else is going to be very simple. So we're going to start with the face first. As per usual, we are going to use a primer, the Dr. Brandt one that I always use. I think I told you guys I am going to get the E.L.F one just to like really test that out. Well, actually, I need to get all the different ones, like the E.L.F one, the Milk one, the Essence one. Again, just to try it out for you guys, because like I said, if it wasn't for you guys, I would not use any primer, honestly speaking. Because if you use a good moisturizer that has at least some type of like glycerin in it, you will be fine. And yeah. I mean, I do see a purpose for some primers, but like I said, for me, it really wasn't necessary when I used to use it back in the day. So that's the primer, right? I am going to go in with my foundation all over as per usual, but I will be adding a little bit of my MCO Beauty. This step you definitely don't have to if you don't have a product like this, but I just like it, so I am going to add it just a tiny bit back of the hand because it has a nice little glow. Just my little dots as per usual, just to give a glow to the skin. Then of course, you know, my 50,000 foundations that I have, honey child, we're gonna go in with those. So honestly speaking, just gonna do a little dot. And if you see me looking off, it's because like where I have my smaller mirror set up. Then other foundation. I promise you guys, like soon, real soon, I'm gonna get like my one foundation shade, so we don't have to do 50,000 foundations. Okay, don't worry, soon. I promise. And then my True Match, and then do this. Again, you see, like, we're gonna minus the time it takes to put on all these 50 foundations. We're gonna minus that out of the 10 to 15 minutes. So we're gonna, let's just say, let's imagine we have our one foundation that matches us. We're gonna do that, right? We're gonna take our brush. Don't judge me because I have to wash my brushes. But I'm just gonna wet the brush. You know, I do that just for hydration. On our brush, I'm gonna stipple it out. Make sure everything blend in. Actually, I said, you know what? Let me do a makeup look like this for you guys because I think I was like heading out somewhere and I didn't want to not have makeup on, but I also didn't want to have makeup on. So I was like, you know what? Let me still look at least some type of put together, I guess you could say. But something so simple. So I'm like, you know what? This still allows you to look refreshed. It still allows you to look like you care about life to some capacity. You know, you care about what you look like when you go outside. And again, it's just real simple. You know, it's not too much product. It's not too much steps as how I usually do, you know, with like the cream and the bronzer and everything else. Now, even with this look, there are some steps you guys could avoid if you wanted to. And again, you could always tweak it, but this to me is just like the basis for a real calm, let me go outside but still look awake type of look. Like I said, you could wear it to the office, you could wear it just to go run some errands, you could wear it just to hang out with your homegirls or whatever. If you wanted to, grab a few drinks. And honestly speaking, you could transition this from a daytime look to a nighttime look, honestly speaking. with a few different little tweaks. So this is where we at with the foundation. So we're looking like something, right? You know, I realized in my videos when I'm doing my foundation, my hand is just like chilling. It looks a little strange to me, I'm not gonna lie. Let me just check my other mirror that I have behind. So, foundation, right? We on, blended. We look okay, a little bit of something, but you know, foundation always make look like a blank canvas. Nobody cares about you. Don't worry, we're gonna wake it up, I promise. So, foundation, beauty blender, just blend everything, just a little extra coverage. Now, we're gonna go in with our concealer. Now, you can go in with a concealer that matches your skin tone, so it just looks like a clean flush of color. Me, as you guys know, I like a nice highlighted under eye. I just prefer that look. Now, you also could do that look as well if you wanted a nice highlighted look. So I'm gonna go in always with my tried and true right now, inexpensive Pro concealer from LA Girl. I'm gonna do our 1, 2. 1, 2. I might add a little razzle dazzle of my Maybelline. So I'm gonna let this sit a tiny bit. So as I'm letting this sit, right, I am going to do faux powder all over the face just to set everything. So my big powder brush, gonna take some of my loose powder, just pat it. I think I told you guys I want to get one that matches like my foundation pretty much, but until then, this is fine. So we're just gonna set everything. And we look like set our something. So then now that's set just a dash. So we are gonna blend out underneath the eyes now. So I'm gonna go in with my little concealer brush, my airbrush concealer brush. Again, don't judge me, I gotta wash my brushes. Don't judge me. I'm gonna spray that with a little bit of setting spray, just so it could blend. But again, this is me. Again, you know, I'm always gonna be trying new techniques for myself, just so I could see again what works for me, and you guys could also do the same. So we're just gonna blend out the edges a little bit. Now I do have my setting powder on a puff close by because I want to set this as soon as I'm done. So as soon as we're done blending, we're gonna set under the eye. So just bring it up as close as I want to have it up for the eyeball. Hold on, let me see something. So everything on my table has no mirror in it. How amazing is that, guys? You know, I'll cook what I can under the crease. And just blend it, patch it in right on the nose so it still looks like something. See, I don't think I like how that looks there. So we're gonna use the foundation. Put closer right there. Okay, so it looks even under the eye, right? Blends it out, blend the edges. Take our damp beauty blender, just get the edges just so it buffs out. Then on our sponge, we are gonna set. Now I just press it. Now you could bake if you wanted to. I'm just gonna press it underneath. Add a little bit more, press it again. So now we just like set right there. We're still just set, clean to the point. Same thing on the next eye. I'm not gonna lie, guys, this probably might be thus far the shortest get ready with me. Possibly. Possibly. Again, just blend underneath. And again, just a stippling motion. We're not going to sweep because we don't want to disturb the product or anything underneath. So this is just going to do a blending, stippling motion. Yeah, up under the crease. Close by the nose so it still all looks nice. Make sure we're looking like something. And then our beauty blender. Just to blend out the edges, make sure it blends. And then we are gonna, again, on our triangle puff, right underneath it. And that's set. Now I'm gonna put some down the bridge of the nose just to give that like highlighted look. Top cheekbone bow, chin at the bottom. So on the eye, everything that's all set, right? Looking like something, right? Starting to come back now. So now with this, you don't have to bronze if you didn't want to. You could just go in with highlight if that's what you wanted. I still am gonna bronze because bronzer always is gonna give a nice dimension back to the face. Foundation pretty much makes everything flat, so bronzer is always gonna add back that warmth to the skin. So I'm gonna go in with my usual Black Radiance contour palette. In both my colors, you guys know I'm gonna take on my fluffy brush. And I'm just gonna go into both the colors, tap a little bit into my hand and then the hairline. You know, my forehead as per usual. That was a lot in that little area there. My forehead. So now it's bringing back that warmth to the skin now. Because again, foundation just pretty much makes everything a blank canvas. Now that I think about it, oh my God, I was doing so good, guys, with not getting dirty. Look, I gotta, come on now, I was probably judging me. But as I'm saying it to you guys, right, like foundation pretty much makes everything a blank canvas. If you think about it, that's the truth, right? Like say a house, the foundation pretty much is like bare bones, I guess you could say, right? Then you add everything else, right? The carpet, the windows, the light fixtures, all of those. Now it's like, okay, it makes the house pretty much a home and make it beautiful and livable, right? So it's pretty much the same exact thing. The foundation pretty much just makes the canvas beautiful for everything else to be on top of it, to make everything else pop. So that's why, again, want your foundation to be on. Make sure it looks good. It sets a certain way. So then now when you add everything else, it's adding everything back, adding more dimension back to the skin, back to the face, you know. So now, you know, my usual. Now, again, also, too, like I say, when it comes to bronzing, because, again, it's the difference between bronzing and contouring. So it's bronzing, we're just going to do it the highs of the forehead or on the corner, the cheek area. But again, placement is dependent on your face shape, you know, and the look you're going for. So let me see. Bringing warmth back to the skin. So just on the cheek, just fluffy, big motions. Same on the other side. Just brush it up. And again, for me, keeping it high up, right? Because bronzer could go down or fall down. We don't want that. So just bring it up. Back by the ear. You want it to look crazy. All right, so now we're bringing something Back to the face now. This is where we at with it in life, right? We're gonna do the nose, and I'm going to take on, this is a regular regular eyeshadow brush, I promise you. But I'm like, you know what, it is what it is, just gonna go with it. Okay, I'm gonna go into both of them. I'm gonna dab off a little bit on the hand, just so it don't come off too harsh on the nose, and then just the side of our nose. Now again, with this, you could contour the nose if you wanted to, or you could just add the highlight to the nose. So we're just gonna, in both of them, dab a little bit off, and then just up. And we're gonna bring it up in the hollows here of our eyebrows, so it still looks unison as always, okay? Right side of the nose. But again, even when it comes down to contouring your nose, right, you have to, again, know your nose shape, know the placement, know what you're trying to accomplish with the nose. Because when I watch some videos, honey child, contouring the nose, you can make that thing look completely different, okay? Like a whole new person you're gonna come out looking like, I promise you, okay? And it's underneath. All right, get this down the side, up to the brows. Same thing on this side. Okay, make sure I look like something. Now, I'm gonna add a tiny bit of blush. Like I said, this is one of the steps that is optional, but I think blush always just looks nice, just to add a little extra little razzle dazzle. But again, you don't have to. Like at this point, it could just be the foundation, a dash of bronzer, and then now your highlight and your glow. Because again, that would just bring like a sun-kissed look, right? Because now that's also, say, like another look you could go for that's still simple, but that would now also be sun-kissed. So you would have your highlight a certain type of way, your glow a certain kind of way, but this is just the all over, everyday, real simple. We are gonna go into both the colors, 1, 2, 1, 2, dab on the hand. Now I like to start from where the back is the highest point and then bring it down, because again, sometimes it possibly, even though I dab it off, it possibly might have some product up there and you don't want to just go straight in and it's like now a whole flush of possibly pink or whatever color. So I just do that and just bring it to the front. Just go back and forth motion, just still stippling it in. And then two, I do that because now it blends nicer with the bronzer, so it's all now one thing. Small, a tiny bit. And you see me, my face, my shape, I just bring it all the way up here, right up to here. Some people bring it all the way up to the hair, and the hair, all of this ear. Yeah, no, I don't like silly, okay? Don't do silliness, okay? Remember your face, remember what you're trying to achieve. That's how placement works, okay? Don't be doing crazy stuff out here. Okay, don't say you came and you saw Lena, that's what she did. No. Okay, so now it's just bringing back a little bit of extra razzle dazzle. So now it's the bronzer, your blush, all in one unison, playing together and marinating together on the face. Now, highlight. Now for me, just a tiny, tiny, tiny dash, just a dash. I'm going to put a tiny bit of this. Again, the same MCO Beauty, but this is one shade down. And I'm going to use it on a little bit on my finger. Just down my nose. Because I like a nice glow. This, you don't have to do this, but I like a nice glow. I will actually do it on my cheeks too, but for this video, I'm not going to do it on the cheeks. But definitely on my nose, I'm going to. Just like, I just really like how that looks. So we're just going to do that. Now I'm going to go in with my Wet n Wild highlights, my tried and true for right now. We are going to go in with my Real Techniques brush, this little brush right here. Just going to swirl it all around. You know, I just be doing whatever's. Bring it down the bridge of my nose. And like right there, the tip of the nose too. So just, you know, down the bridge, up a tiny bit, and then there. I'm most likely gonna get another highlight little palette because I like this, don't get me wrong, but I have to do too much to get like the product off. A little bit too much for my liking. So now I'm gonna put this here at the highest points of the cheekbone, right? Because I could bring it down how I usually do on that front part. Just 1, 2, 1, 2. Not too crazy, but I want to mainly focus it here, right? Because now say it's like a nice sunny day. And you walking, talking, and walking. You turn your head laughing. You want a nice little glow when you're doing all these movements and motions, right? So that's right up there. But usually sometimes I bring it down to the apples of my cheeks just because I like how that looks on me. And I just like to be highlighted. Same thing on this side. And I'm gonna get another highlight, probably like a highlight palette, because I strongly believe like sometimes a golden highlight don't go with every single eyeshadow look or makeup look. Like sometimes, say if you're gonna do a black smoky eye and probably use like a nice blue on the inner corner or smoke out the bottom with a nice blue, a golden highlight to me wouldn't make the best sense. But if you got a cool tone highlight that's more of like glowy, more of a reflective, it will look a lot better, you know. So again, for me, this is just how I look at makeup. I like everything to be in unison, from the eyeshadow down to the highlight, if you use highlight, down to the lips. All of these things is what makes a look cohesive. And I think I spoke of this before in another video. That's what makes it look cohesive to me. When the highlight match, when the lipstick match, like all these things match, or at least complement each other, you know. So that's why I'm gonna get another highlight palette just to play around with other highlighters. Let me see how this is looking, right? Just gonna dab it. Okay, this is what we're looking like in the world right now. Okay, you can see me from Mars, I promise you. Right here. Just because, just do a little extra razzle dazzle, just because, you know, we just want to do what we want, you know. So this is what we look like with the face here at this point in time. This is where we at with it, right? Okay, great. Now I am going to, how do I want to do this? Now I am going to put some foundation on my eyeball area. And I'm going to use a little brush to do that, because the foundation would be like a bit much in this moment to use the foundation. So I'm just gonna use my another similar brush to the one that I use for my concealer. So the same thing, I still had some foundation on the back of my hand. So we're just gonna go in with that one. And I'm just gonna brush it on. Because, you know, I don't really use eyeshadow primer like that. So this is what's gonna do, honey. I'm just gonna stipple it in. Again, just to pretty much have like a nice base and just a clean base to put our eyeshadows. Just gonna stipple it in. Now you could use a foundation that's your color. You could use a concealer that's your color. You could actually have done this step when you did the whole foundation. Actually, you could have did that step then, but it is what it is. Do that, right? So we're looking like something is blacking it out, right? So now just gonna add some powder to set it. Just some powder, dust it off, and just set it all the way up to the eyebrow. Just so now we have a base for the eyeshadows that we're gonna do. So now it's like, okay, cool, you know. Same thing on the other eyeball. And just put it all over. It's a nice fluffy brush, so it could just like blend just quickly, easily, like a regular foundation brush would. And then we're gonna do the same exact thing Add some powder. In the inner corner. Just blend it. So this is where we looking like right now. This is where we at. This is what we're looking like right now. So now we're gonna do our brows. Now, because we did the foundation, contour, and everything else with foundation, bronzer, and everything else, we kind of see the shape of our brows already. So we don't have to do too much with the brows. Again, depends on the kind of brows that you have. So we are gonna go in with our pencil by Wet n Wild as per usual. Just gonna comb them up to really see like my hairs, see where I want to place them, how I want to have them. Right, gonna brush them up. Same thing on this one. All right, so this is where we at with our eyebrows. So now I am just gonna go right where this tail part is, like, so this would be like, I guess you could say mid, closer by where my arch is gonna be. Because it's less hairs here, I really do my brows to fill in where there's not too much hairs, right? So that's why we brush up the brows to see what we working with pretty much, right? So some people use a brow gel to set. I don't do all of that extra jazz, okay? Because my brow hairs aren't like thick or stiff hairs. Like my brow hairs are actually very soft and they stay in place, so I don't have to necessarily use a wax or anything to set it. So that's why me brushing it, it just does what I need it to do. So I brush it up and then I really fill in where I need more hairs, right? So which is for me the mid to the tail on both sides pretty much is where I need to fill it in. So I already see the shape of my brow and I know my brows, so I'm just gonna fill in this part here a little bit, bring it up, because that's where like a bit of what my arch would be, and pretty much just how I want my brows to be laid and shaped. And then arch it down towards the bottom. And then we're gonna do underneath. So that pretty much was what the top line of my brow is technically. So I just arch it a little bit just to see where I want it to lay. Then we're gonna do a little one slightly underneath it. So now we have the tail end of our brows. Just gonna fix that a little bit there. This is our eyebrow. I'm gonna brush the hairs again so it can lay how it needs to lay. Then the same top part, because I already have the arch again for my brows, I know where my arches are. So those little hairs right there, just lightly, because we still want this to be as natural as possible. So we're not really gonna draw in and trace our brows. That's not the point. It's just to kind of mimic the hairs that you already have and just blend it in a way so it just complements it. Like, oh, okay, that's a filled out brow. So again, I just always arch my brow a tiny bit just to bring out my arches a little bit. And then same thing, connect towards the bottom. A little bit of arching so it connects nicely, a nice little shape. And then fill the ends in a bit. And that is the end. That's the eyebrow, right? So now brush it up a bit. Just brush it so the product can move around a bit in the brow. If you think it's a little harsh, you could again do this step, because this is now just moving the product around. So again, it blends better and it lays a lot nicer, right? So we could do that there if we wanted to. We could bring a tiny bit to the front. Again, just lightly, just light hair-like strokes just at the bottom. And also too, this make the brow look a lot more clean as well. And that's our eyebrow. And do the same thing on this other side. Now, and this one is shaped a little differently, so I gotta do a little bit of extra razzle dazzle on this side. So I'm gonna take a little bit from there, because now it's gonna connect in a certain way, because this arch is a little different. Bring that up to meet that end. And just arch it down. But again, when you do your brows, you're gonna know and see, oh, okay, I have to fill in this part. You know, you're gonna know with your brows the technique that you have to do, you know. So again, from where the top of my arches are towards the top, just light strokes. Because we kind of now building this arch a little bit. And when I lift my brow like that, that's like helping me to accentuate the in my brow arches. And then so like lightly strokes, and then it's gonna connect towards the bottom. And I just fill it in. We have our brow. Again, fill that in. Light, light, light towards the front. Just brush that against so it blends. Right, so we could keep our brows like this if we really wanted to, honestly speaking. But we're gonna go in with a little bit of our E.L.F. Wow Brow. So I'm gonna take it, right? I'm gonna take off whatever excess from the front. I think I told you this do have like some fibers, which is kind of cool. But we're gonna take it off, especially from like towards the tip of the brush. We don't want too much product. Now, now I'm going to start with the middle because, again, I don't want to put it in the front and possibly might be a lot of product there. So, like right here, we're just going to bring it up and just brush it into our brows because we're going to brush our brows up. So, brushing it up still looks natural. And like I said, this has some fibers in it. So, it also adds a little bit more to the brow. So, we lightly bringing it towards the front. Lightly towards the front. Just lightly. Just to give it a little bit of, I guess, life back into it, I guess, if you want to use that word. So now it looks even more natural of a brow. It looks like just natural brow hairs, just cleaned up, put some gel in it, called it a day. So do the same thing on this side. Add a little bit more product. Just go in one time. Take off the, the excess. Same thing, start from the midpoint just in case. And then same thing, lightly towards the front. Now, if you can tell, my brows are just different anyways. Like this front is off a lot more than this. Craziest thing. Like that's one of the things that when I see my G's, I'm like, homie, why you gave me these kind of brows, Lord? Like why you like playing sometimes? Like why? Come on now. My Jesus, you love playing sometimes. And so this is, right, our brow. We could add a little bit more. Right. So we could just leave our brow like this. Does it look good, guys? Let's see. We could go in with our pencil, add a tiny, tiny bit of, like a tiny, tiny bit, just a little bit. Just brush it up lightly. Ever so slightly. Just bring it up a little bit. Like barely touching it. All right, look like something, right? A tiny bit on this side too. Ever so slightly. All right. Okay, so this is where we at. All right. So that is where we at with our brows. This is what we look like right now. Right? This is where we at with it in life. This is it. So I am going to set my face right now just so all the powders can start to mesh together, play together, sit together. So I'm gonna go in with my as per usual Dragon's Blood. This adds back, again, hydration, like it says, like I will say that it does. And then now my Milani Like, I really want these to play together nicely on the face. Like, I have laugh lines, I have the lines under my eyeballs. It's like the craziest thing. So now, so now we're all set. So now we are gonna go to our eyeballs, okay? So I'm gonna go in with my Gone Matte palette. You guys know I love this palette. Now I picked it because this have, as you guys know, it has neutrals in it pretty much. Now if you guys have any eyeshadow palette that's neutrals or anything that's like warm tone, you can grab that palette. It's gonna be so easy to utilize. So I'm gonna go in, while I tell you this is real quick, real quick. I'm gonna go in with my all over. This is my domed crease brush. We're gonna go in with, let's play around with these shades over here, because again we're gonna keep it neutral, right, for like pretty much every day. So we're gonna go in with a little bit of Shaggy and Ultra Suede. So these is playing in the realm of browns. Now I'm gonna go in with these colors because one, they're neutral, but two, it complements my skin tone as, I guess, like a nudish tone. But at the same time, too, whatever lip combo I choose to do, it also will blend nicely because of the shade of the browns that they are. Like I said, Shaggy and Ultra Suede, just the two of them, type of X's. We're going to start this in the crease area. We're just going to bring it all around on the crease. And even bring it onto our lid, actually. So all over. On the the other eyeball, same thing, on a nice fluffy brush. And again, you're going to use a fluffy brush because, again, say if you have 10 to 15 minutes, you got to be out the door but still look like something, and you still want it to have slightly of a blended look. A quick fluffy brush is going to get the job done. And again, because you're already bringing it all over the lid area, a fluffy brush is better. But you just want to blend it just so it still looks seamless, right? We don't just want to put it up there and it's streaky. At least still blend it to some capacity, right? Just gonna blend it out. Just so the eyes look awake again and have some type of dimension to the face. All right. And that's really it. Now, if you wanted to, you could go in, say if you had this palette, depending on your skin tone, you could go in with any of these lighter shades. Fluff Up, Teddy, or Butter Up. Any of these right on the lid will also make the eyes give you that pop if that's what you are going for as well. But if not, just something real quick, easy, simple, just do what I did. Now I'm going to take these same colors and sweep it underneath the bottom of the eyelash. You guys know me. I love sweeping my shadows underneath my eyeballs, okay, honey? For me, it just adds another little pop for me. You know, again, you don't have to do this step. You could skip this step. But this is what I do. Now, honestly speaking, even with this step, you could add, depending on, say, like your skin tone, the look you want to go for, you could add a nice white or cream in the eyeliner. That also opens up the eye and wake up the eyes as well. So again, just underneath. Not too much, because again, we don't want this to be like a smoky eye look. We just want it to be, oh, okay, you're awake, you're ready to take on the day. And that is it for the eyeshadow. That's it. Nothing too crazy. Now, we are going to curl our lashes. And we're going to do mascara. Because if you're a pro at lashes, you could throw on a lash strip if you wanted to do that. Or lash clusters. But if it's just, again, something real quick, got to get out the door, but still look like something, mascara is your best friend, and you want to always choose a good mascara. Now, a good mascara is subjective. It really depends on you as the person, what you want your mascara to do for your lashes. I personally like mascara that lengthens my lashes, which is why I use the brand that I use, which is my L'Oreal Telescopic. I've been using them for years. Now, this one, I actually have a new one unopened, and I don't know why I'm not opening this one just yet. But I promise you, when it's even more fresh, it makes the lashes look even more amazing. But I'm just being lazy and not opening it up, and I don't know why. But the one that I have now is not going to show like its true amazingness, but we're going to see. Now, you don't have to curl your lashes if you don't want to, but I'm just going to do it just for you guys. So I'm just going to curl them a few seconds. I just pump it up as well. And if you wanted to too, they say for like a nicer curl, you could always add a little bit of heat to it. So I guess if you had like a lighter or something hot, but again, be very careful. Okay, very careful. And yeah, if you want it, but that's if you have like really stubborn lashes. I really don't have to curl my lashes at all, honestly. I'm just being a little extra for you guys. But you don't have to curl them if they don't need to be curled. But it's just a nice little thing to do. Just, again, squeeze them up. Just so they could stand up a little bit more. So now I'm going to go in, like I said, with my L'Oreal Paris Telescopic in Carbon Black. If I'm not mistaken, this one is waterproof. They have two. They have a waterproof and a non-waterproof. My eyes are watery, so I always utilize the waterproof. So I don't have my mirror. I'm not going to pick up my mirror and have it close to me because it has the opposite side. And I don't have none of my pads close enough to grab. So I'm just gonna see how this works. I'm just going to look down. And from the bottom, just wiggle it up. And so same thing towards the edges. And now I like brushes on mascaras do matter. Formulation, I'm not, now I will say is a difference. I've tried quite a few mascaras in my day. I would say formulation does matter. But definitely also brushes. You know, I like these brushes because one, if I'm not mistaken, this is silicone brushes, as well as they're shorter of a brush. If you could see that, they're a lot shorter. So that means it's going to grab onto the lashes better. It's going to adhere better also because it's silicone, and it's also going to give that length. So that is why I love this mascara, especially, like I said, especially freshly open. It looks even more amazing. But this is it, you know, after some time. So now I'm just going to get the front. Just going to wiggle it, bring it all the way up. Now, I'm not the one to do like 50,000 coats of mascara. That's just not really my vibe. But yeah, some people do that. And now one thing too, when your mascara is done, it's done. Just throw it out. Don't be like me. Just throw it out. But at the same time, when you are utilizing your mascara and you got to go in to get more product, do not go like in and out inside of the product. That's going to create air bubbles, and that's also going to mess up the formulation. It's going to mess up your mascara because now you have air bubbles in it. So if you need to go back into the mascara, just you're going to push it inside of the tube. You're going to take it out and do that. And then you're going to take off the excess if need to be. Other than that, don't be doing crazy things, guys, okay? Don't do crazy things. Now I'm just throwing this eyeball just for separation so you guys can really see like the length. And these are my natural lashes. I think I told you guys 9 times out of 10 in real life, I don't wear makeup like that. If I needed to like just step out somewhere real quick, I always do my brows and throw on mascara. Depending on how I feel, I will throw on some eyeliner. Just because I like how eyeliner looks on my eyes personally. The way my eyes are, and I guess probably even the eye color that I have, the black, because I really like really dark black eyeliner. So the darkness of the black eyeliner against my eye color, to me, looks really pretty. So I'll use a really dark eyeliner sometimes, depending on how I feel. And then I will promise you, I will just do like the babiest of wing at the end. And that's just it. I don't do the whole shebang. So we're just gonna do that. And then my mascara, I could tell like my lashes are different on each eyeball. And then we're gonna, now the tip of the brush, just get those little ones best as I can. Because one thing I hate is you do your eyeshadow and then you put on a mascara just all crazy and willy-nilly, and then it goes on top of your eyeshadow that you did. Nobody has time for that. Now, in a case that did happen, all you would have to do is let the mascara settle down, and then you're going to take a Q-tip and you should be able to easily just brush it off with the Q-tip. But you have to let it dry first, because if you do it while the mascara is wet, it's going to now mess up. It's going to smudge all over the place and it's going to mess up the shadow 100%. So just let it dry down a little bit, and then you're going to take either a mascara wand that you have or a Q-tip, and you're just going to brush it away. So this is where we are. If you wanted to, you could add bottom mascara to the bottom lashes if you wanted to. For me, because my bottom lashes are long, I don't want that look right now. So I'm just going to leave it as is, like this. We are going to go in doing our lips. So I'm going to go in with... let's go in with mahogany. We're going to go in with mahogany. This is like a reddish, brownish color. It's going to line the lips. Nothing too crazy. Now, this is really more so just to accentuate the lips a little bit. Not really to do nothing crazy, but just accentuate the lips just a tiny bit, so it just doesn't mesh into the face. So, because you guys know, I was definitely gonna grab espresso. Espresso. It's a little bit all over the lip. Now, again, I just always use my liner all over the lip because it just gives your lipstick or anything something to adhere to. So that's why you bring it all over the lips. So now, real simple. If you have a lipstick, you can put a lipstick on. If you have a gloss, you can put a gloss on. So I'm going to go in with two glosses. One of them is going to be, both is from NYX, but one is going to be in Maybelline. And these are neutral colors. Still just keeping it simple. So we're just going to 1, 2, and 2. Just a little bit of Maybelline. And then we're just going to top it off with Fortune Cookie. You know, Fortune Cookie is lighter, so it gives a certain kind of look. Give a little time, it's all gonna settle in. So this is what we look like. We're gonna add one more splash of spray again. So it really settles, it really plays, it really does what it needs to do. So this is where we are, and I'm going to do my hair real quick, and I'm gonna come back to you guys. Okay, love bunnies, so this is the final look with my hair down, I guess, and done up. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, hopefully 10 to 15 minute quick makeup look. Like I said, you can do this makeup look if you just want to do some errands, if you want to do a job interview, if you want to look refreshed every day for school or work. Real quick, real simple, real easy, real steps that's actually quick to do with products that you have and not too much products, because we don't always have to do cream bronzer and cream blush and lashes all the time. Sometimes we could just do a little bit of 1-2-1-2 and still look very much put together. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys recreated, and of course show me what you got. As I always say, the true foundation of beauty starts from within. Makeup is just the cherry on top. Thank you guys so much for choosing to share a part of your day with me. I thank you and I appreciate you so much. Do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, tell a friend, tell a friend. Thank you guys so much. Until next time. Mwah. Be good and be safe.